Can you beat a great jungler? Oh my god, alright. You really want me to watch this? Alright, I'm gonna close the rest of this stuff because these videos are just senseless to watch. You will snipe me, don't worry. In NA? God. Should I watch this shit? Fun. Let's take a look.
Decision making to see how you would carry a platinum solo queue game.
A platinum solo queue game. Okay.
Decisions to mine in a Graves game, and you'll see if you could end up 13-0 and end the game in 19 minutes like I did.
Quality's very low.
You'll have the exact same camera perspective, which means all the information that I had available.
Hey, there we go. I like this. I like stuff like this.
And you can be
when they do stuff like this. This is good. This is really good. Okay, let's watch.
Confident in knowing that if you can make a lot of the same decisions, you can smash a platinum game too. Be aware that you will probably want to pause throughout and even assuming no crazy level 1 shenanigans and looking at these matchups and summoner spells, where would you start? Red buff or blue buff?
Either is fine. I would start red.
Red buff is the obvious choice here. Both top laners are melee fighters and both have Ignite, making it super volatile and extremely important to play towards. Because of this, starting at red and working our way towards top side is a great idea. But how many camps do you think we should do from here? 3, 5...
This is the shit. I already watched this shit. This is what I don't like. Like, why are you showing me this? I want to see the entire game. I already watched part of this video, actually. I thought we were going to see only his POV, not all this, like, graphics and shit. Okay, if I'm looking here, I would probably just full clear, because, I mean, unless top is inting, then you can go ahead and do that. Also, they don't talk about where enemy jungle started, so what the fuck? I already talked about this, don't I? So enemy jungle starts top side here. But the problem is we don't act. Well, he most likely did, yeah. Also, who is the enemy jungler? Echo is the jungler. So enemy jungle started top side here. This should be pinged out. First of all.
Here. Both top laners are melee fighters and both have Ignite.
Now, you can't ask me the question about how do I full clear or how many camps do I clear. Depends on the push in top lane, right? No Krugs. Krugs, well, okay, if you do your Krugs, what does that change? If you do your Krugs, you're not going to find any aggression in top side because Echo's going to be pathing bottom side, right? I would only do Krugs here. I would only do Krugs here if Echo started bot side and is racing to top side or something, right? That's when I would actually... Sorry, I would skip Krugs if Echo is pathing from bot and racing to top side. But if Echo is pathing from top side to bot lane, I don't think Krugs is that bad because you're never going to meet him up in top lane unless, like, you want to just run up to top side really fast for whatever reason. Because you're never going to invade him at this point, right? Because enemy jungle start at top side. You can't invade him after going 3 camps and then into his top side. The only time you can invade him here is if your bot lane hard crashes the wave. And if but doesn't Graves just crash? Doesn't Graves just full clear at 315 always? I'm pretty sure Graves can still clear at 315 even if Krugs take forever. But yeah, you are further away from top. I would do Krugs depending on these circumstances. Now here I would actually just... You could even take 3 camps, and if Karma and Tristana are hard crashing, there is a world where you could actually invade enemy jungle and bot side. There is a world where you could do that, but it's only if you have 3v3, if you're winning 3v3, and Kale isn't getting like turbo shoved in or something. Because then Galio can move, and then you're playing like Galio plus enemy bot lane plus jungle versus 3 of you guys, which isn't obviously favorable. People say you can't full clear on Graves at 315. Okay, I'm not entirely sure. I'm not going to debate it. I could be wrong. I could be right. I'm not sure. But the option to skip Krugs, I think it's okay if you're planning on being in top lane as soon as possible, which I completely agree with. If you're chilling, then you could full clear, but you're going to be top really late. And what you could do is if top lane is in a state where it's like, oh, you know, this could be diveable or something because it's Yasuo into Fiora and Yasuo can't really touch the wave early. Then what ends up happening is you can skip out on Wolves or Grom to run up top lane, or alternatively, you could just play strong side top and then leave your Krugs at level 1 for your bot lane to reset. That I also agree with. So I think either mindset could actually be pretty okay. This is pinged.
And extremely important to play towards. Because of this, starting at red and working our way towards top side is a great idea. But how many camps do you think we should do from here? 3, 5.
Well, you have to do your Raptors. You have to do your Raptors. Right? You should do your Raptors here. And it's weird that they would ask me the question without telling me what is the wave state in topside. Because I know, well, off of the matchup and playing Fiora into Yasuo, I know that I'm going to win at level 1 and 2. But I want to see that, right? Right? And so, it's a little bit weird. Is our ganking bot at level 2? No. The question is really strange. And I already went over, like, someone showed me this video earlier. Actually, I just recalled it. It can't be any of these.
Or there might actually decide that. You should have picked none of the above. This is a trick question because it's really way too early to actually decide this. By the time we get to topside, there might be an immediate kill, or there might not.
Yep, that's very true.
So we don't need to pick so soon, or you just lose adaptability. Stay flexible and keep your options open. What would you do now that Fiora scored a solo kill? 5 camp into crab, full clear, invade, or gank somewhere?
You would just full clear. Why would you gank anywhere?
Based off of who we saw in lanes at the start of the game, we should know that Echo started red this game. This means that he'll be clearing down and probably going for bottom crab, meaning we don't need to be in a rush to the crab on top side.
I talked about
be
this.
On it right at 3:15.
This is very good.
We should also assume that Echo cleared out all of his top side and that the camps are down. Our mid matchup is extremely hard to gank because Kale has 0 setup and top lane is already dead and has no TP. So we
he doesn't have TP. Oh, that's so big. Oh, that's actually so huge.
Available ganks. This leaves full clearing as the default way to be most efficient. Since when there aren't any other.
If he has TP and Fiora's has Ignite, then there is a world where you run up there, but I mean you still full clear here.
You should just
full clear it. Yeah.
After the full clear, what would you look to do?
I would just gank
Hit the
top lane.
Provision and River, look for a gank top, or Scuttle.
Because the top is bouncing back, right? Scuttle is not a priority right now, and you're not trying to be on your bottom side jungle immediately because they're not up. Echo's not going to do anything. All you do here is you ping your bot lane to be very careful of Echo dive if the lane state is bad, or if they're pushed up, you just tell them, hey assholes, watch out. And then what you do is you just gank top lane because the wave is pushing out.
We definitely don't need the vision plant because we already know where Echo should be right now, and it would just give away our location. And we don't need to rush crab either since Echo shouldn't be here. We beat him in the 1v1 anyways, even if he is. So we should look for top gank, and if it doesn't look good, then we can go do crab. Do you think based on this section that you would continue the top gank? Look good?
Fiora misplays it here pretty hard, right? The reason Fiora misplays it here is because she doesn't pull the wave.
Echo shouldn't be here. We beat him in the 1v1 anyways, even if he is. So we should look.
Hitting the plant is useless. So what Fiora should do here, actually, if you watch really closely, right? Fiora, now this is going to sound a little bit crazy, but there is a world where Fiora walks up and tries to pull these 3 melees here, and then locks the next wave here. Yeah, there is a world where she can try to do that. If this wave is too far away, then of course she doesn't even attempt to try to do that. Now, if this guy gets the crash off, then you should just do the Herald, not the Herald, but the Crab. And then you can either look mid lane or you can look in top lane if they continue to play that lane out poorly. But chances are Yasuo isn't in a bad lane state. Because the wave's just gonna come back into Yasuo, and he has no incentive to really do anything. This is also a time when Yasuo can just free ward, and so yeah.
And if it doesn't look good, then we can go do crab.
At this point, you could gank it, but it's kind of like, yeah, you could actually gank it.
Do you think based on this section that you would continue the
because what happens with the wave? What happens with the so the backline casters lock. The backline casters end up locking here, which is enough. It's enough to grant Fiora a freeze, especially if she's running teleport and enemy jungler is running ignite, which essentially means now Yasuo has to get level 3, which is about to, and then Yasuo is going to try to crash the wave in. And this is a pretty good time for jungle to come out and gank, but yeah, if he hasn't already warded, then it's pretty doomed for Yasuo here.
Section that you would continue?
So the answer is yes, you should actually just look top lane for this gank. Because if Fiora has a freeze and you chunk Yasuo out and Yasuo has ignite, and the lane's over, like
the top gank,
you can't do anything.
Yes or no?
The answer is yes. You have to gank. You should gank this lane.
Based on Yasuo's body language and the fact that we know he hasn't walked into River to place a ward this entire game, it's clear he doesn't know what to do right now. Let's rewind to look at this cue that I read in game. Let's see. Yep, he's inting.
He's inting because the wave locks. They should talk about that wave lock. I don't think they do that. That's my small concern. But I mean, other than that, It's a pretty good video. The body language thing is correct, but the body language thing is a byproduct of the wave locking. It's not the opposite. The wave locking is not a byproduct. It's not a byproduct of the body language, right? The body language is happening because Yasuo is like fucking sweating right now.
All right.
In the lane.
So what I was looking for was that right after he killed the last minion, he was going to make a choice. Either to back up because he was
he should
scared,
ward
or
and
to
then
walk
try
forward
to
and try to pressure.
pray or something.
Because he killed the minion and continued moving forward, I knew that he wasn't aware of where I was. These little cues are extremely important to try to read, as body language gives away so much information. And a lot of
So here, actually what should happen is Fiora can Q, but I don't think Fiora... well, does he have Flash? I don't know if he has Flash. That's the weird part. I don't know if this guy has Flash or not. Because there is a world where Graves just fights him inside of the melees, and then Fiora just chills out and freezes the wave, regens, and then continues to get good lane states, right? But if he doesn't have Flash, yeah, I think there's a way Fiora can just jump and kill him. Because Graves' W is about... oh, Graves actually misses his W, I think. Doesn't he?
cues are extremely important to try
She
to read
pinged
as
it?
body language.
Yeah. But, I mean, the ping doesn't... ping's irrelevant. The ping's fine, but, like... yeah, I think Fiora could actually jump this guy and help... yeah, okay, actually, so he lands the W. And Fiora could try to help him. Yeah.
Fail to read it very well.
Yep, this is
so
good.
I ganked this, easily get a kill, and now
Yep.
I have to decide what to do after. Would you help push the wave, go for crab, or recall?
I don't
Would you
know.
help
Wait,
push
wait,
the-
wait,
I
wait, wait.
ganked.
Here, you would ping bot lane, and I would do crab. And then what I would do after crab is I would look at the game timer. It would be like it would be like 3:55, almost 4 minutes, and I would walk up, I would place my ward here, and I would recall. Then what I would do is I would run back to my bot side jungle. That's the sequence here. And then what ends up happening is we're going to see Echo on this camp really soon. If this camp is level 1, I probably wouldn't touch it. Because I want to be bot side immediately to take my level 4 respawn camp. And Echo's still behind because he's going to be shown on the ward. It's going to give information to all of my laners. So here, I would kill this after killing this guy, do crab, go up here, ward, and then just recall. This should just be gone. And yeah, he did open the gank with W as Yasuo. But I mean, I don't know, it just works. So whatever. Yasuo inted at level 1. Granted, Fiora into Yasuo is almost unplayable, but I mean, draft difference. I don't know, lane swap. I guess I don't know what to tell you. Like, whatever. Opening with W. He could auto, maybe W after, but I don't really care. I don't
get a
matter.
kill, and now I have to decide what to do after. Would you help push the wave, go for crab?
Pushing the
kill?
wave against this is really, really weird because Fiora can actually use these minions to possibly like get a good lane state,
I have to
but
decide what to do
you don't want to
after.
push the wave here
Would you
because then
help
you're
push-
sharing XP, right? You can go for the crab and then you can
Push the
ward.
wave, go for crab, or recall.
Recalling here would be really strange because if Echo was to dive bottom lane, he would have already done it. So if you were to recall, I mean, it's really strange. And it's also unlikely that Echo's going to go double crab you. But this is also very important to know, okay, who is enemy jungle, right? Not enemy, who is enemy jungle? We know who enemy jungle is. How is mid wave being played out? If Galio has perma priority and Galio is moving, then yeah, you can't actually do the crab. Because then enemy jungle can walk up and do crab and then recall and then go back to top side. So it's hard to answer the question without knowing how mid is playing. But bot is doomed if it's getting dove right now. There's nothing you can do. It's Karma Triss, so probably feeling pretty good about it. But here, I would just take crab, I would ward the golems, and I would recall. But not telling us how mid is kind of troll. But
So
whatever.
I ganked this, easily get a kill, and now I have to decide what to do after. Would you help push the wave, go for crab, or recall?
See, like, this option and this option depend on mid wave. So I don't know. But, I mean, I would just go for crab.
It may be tempting to push the wave here, but Fiora actually has a freeze right now. And taking the minions would steal a lot of experience from her. It's more effective to maintain the freeze and have her recall, or just re-gank it if she stays. After that, there's no reason to just give the crab for free, since we're not scared of Echo, and Galio has no mana to rotate over.
Just recall now.
So after taking...
It's already 420, just recall after this. Don't worry, just recall.
Crab, what would you do? Recall? Set up to re-gank top?
Dude, I can't see the map, man. You can't do this to me every single time. I would just recall here, unless Galio is inting, because Kale is very low. If you don't tax 3 waves per lane every game, you're noob. True, it's not the Tarzan way. Now here, I would look at mid lane. One thing that's really weird about the video is that they don't show you the state in mid. Look how low Kale is here. Like there is a world where you just kill the Galio. Now here they actually show you. I just saw Galio be quite high HP. So actually, you just recall here. You don't do anything else.
Free, since we're not scared of
if Galio was low and Kale was low, then yeah, there is a world where you just like run up to Galio and blow his flash, and then what you can do is you can probably shove out Kale's wave if it's pushing in. Then you do Raptors, Golems, and then you recall. But here, because it's not the case, you just recall now and you run up to your bottom side jungle.
And Galio has no mana to rotate over to us. So after taking the crab, what would you do? Recall, set up to re-gank top, gank mid, or invade?
Oh, do not invade. Wait, invading would be kind of weird. What's the time? You could invade his Raptors, but you don't know if they're up immediately. Because if he did red Golems Raptors, then he would have... Those Raptors aren't up. If he did like red Raptors into bottom and skipped Krugs, yes, his Raptors would be up in like 10 seconds, but he'll meet you there. So you can't do that. And he's coming off of a recall, so you can't invade him. Because then you're fighting Echo with an item, and you have Graves with 1200 gold and no prio mid. Invading would kill you here. You never invade this. You have to recall.
So after taking the crab, what would you do? Recall, set up to re-gank top, gank mid, or invade?
Pretty good video though, so far. Just you're missing shit that I don't like, but whatever.
Recalling could be decent, but because Fiora hasn't based yet, we don't really want to leave her at the mercy of the enemy jungler and a laner who has more items than her. But Yasuo just died, so he's not even in lane yet, meaning we'd waste a lot of time just going top to sit in a bush for a gank. Ganking mid...
Also, that's a very weird thing that he just mentioned. Obviously, he's saying that you shouldn't do it, but it's the reason this is wrong is because he didn't mention the reason why it's wrong. It's actually, well, yeah, he mentioned part of it, but the main reason why it's wrong is Echo's coming out to make sure Yasuo gets shoved out in top lane. So you can't stay here because again, you're playing into Echo's recall. He has itemization advantage against you, whereas you don't. You're losing tempo. Then what you do is you reset and all your camps are up and you're sad.
Recalling could be decent. So a lot of time.
Recalling is the best call here.
Kale is pretty useless right now, or to recall and go, which is invading. We know that Krugs are respawned now, and that Raptors are soon to follow. And we have 2 wards that we can lead to get a.
But you can't invade here. How do you know where Echo is? Have you seen Echo already? It's 4:30 right now. Echo should have full cleared. He never ganked bottom lane. He probably took Crab, of course, in bottom side. He should be pathing up here. He should meet you at your Raptors here. Theoretically, he should meet you at your Raptors. How can you invade this? Unless he showed and I missed it. But, I mean, now I have to go back in the video and see if Echo showed. Because the only time an invade here is logical is if Echo is full clearing and then does some stupid bullshit in bot lane, and then delays his tempo up from the top side camps, and now you can invade, yes. But if you invade Echo now, he'll kill you because he has items against you.
But
and it's Echo. It's not like you're not versus Yuumi jungle, you know.
So he's not even in lane yet. For gank it, since his 2 options after taking bottom Crab were to stay on bot side or to recall and go back towards his camps.
So he just mentioned it. If his option was to recall and go back towards his camps, you can't fight him in an invade and top side because he'll be off of a recall. So invade here, this is actually incorrect information that the video has.
This leaves us with one way of saying
the right call was to reset here. Also, it's not like Echo's gonna run to your golems. He's not gonna take golems because we don't know if Tristana or Karma had warded that, and if he does, they lose bot lane because now they get a free kill in bot side. Echo should just take topside camps here because he never showed in bottom lane. He never dove or anything, which, I mean, he shouldn't. It's fucking Tristana Karma lane, right? So I don't understand. This is like what is going on in this video so far.
Topside while also being efficient, which is invading.
This is inefficient.
We know that Krugs are respawned now and that Raptors are soon to follow. And we have 2 wards that we can lead to get a ton of information, and since Echo will likely be coming back to this side of the map soon, I don't immediately dash over the wall to hit Krug, since I'm scared of Yasuo moving and Echo coming.
Yeah, and losing Krugs doesn't even matter to us, exactly. Because had we not taken Krugs in the first place, him taking our level 1 Krugs is absolutely fine. Alright? But we didn't. But that's another scenario for later. The decision doesn't make any sense. Now what this guy is doing is he's running back up to top lane to try to attack Yasuo's wave bounce, or the freeze, which I understand. But the problem is now Echo can be up here to make sure Yasuo gets shoved out on the next wave, because that actually aligns exactly with how Echo wants to clear in this next few minutes in the game. So it's a little bit strange that they mentioned this.
From this spot, would you wait around to gank top? Try to take.
So at this point in the video, none of it matters because this is a wrong decision that he's doing. The challenger guy is just straight up incorrect here. There's no world where what he's doing or saying here is correct or accurate. I mean, it's actually really bad.
Or recall.
I mean, then again, the rest of the video is quite good. It's just this part really sucks. Every decision here is absolutely terrible because you ganking top lane, you're gonna end up what do you call it? You're going to end up getting met with a 2v2 because Echo wants to get push out. Taking Krugs is useless because Echo will kill you, and enemy top has prio, so now Fiora can't respawn, nor will mid respawn because Kayle has no resources, and recalling is the only thing now to recover it. But by the time you're in bottom side, your top side camps are already spawned, so now as Graves, you're losing tempo. So everything here is bad. The only good option here, or okay, so the lesser of like the 3 evils we have here is probably just recall. You have to just recall here. If you want to flip a gank in top lane, yeah, it could work. It can work in platinum. It can work in gold. It can work in even diamond. But it's not a good decision. It should never be a good decision.
Recalling is the best play here. Without more info to tell us that Krugs are safe, we can't do them, and we also can't gank top.
Now he's wasting his time. He's actually so behind. This guy doesn't understand how behind he is right now in the jungle, and that's the problem in the video.
Echo. So it's best just to base and await more knowledge. However, when Echo does show, this immediately means that Krugs and top gank are on the table again, and I immediately react to take advantage of it. I steal away the Krugs and then try to gank the Yasuo, but ultimately fail. From here, what would you
Now why does Echo show? What was he doing? If we were to open this game in a POV or something, Echo probably did something stupid. He may have wasted his time. I don't know what he was doing. But logically, this was never addressed in the video. Now, in the video, they kept flipping to random, like, scenes, which I understand for the sake of the information. I get it. But you have to point out if Echo shows. I don't know if Echo showed. You're editing clips out, so I have to, like, make sure you have to give us all the information. If Echo shows, then, yes, taking his top side is fine. But Echo didn't show. So now it's a bad decision. Now Echo shows in mid lane, so our poor decision now becomes a good decision. Right? I kind of understand him because he didn't have 1300. Yeah, but he doesn't need it. He shouldn't take it. The decision is still bad. Right? The decision is still bad. Also, futures market, you know? Just saying.
Try to take the route.
Which I'm not saying you should build it, but I mean if you're if you're me on Graves, I mean you're going futures market on everything.
Recall, go back to your jungle to farm, or none of the above.
What did he do?
Try to take the Raptor, gank the Yasuo, but ultimately fail.
Why did Fiora riposte that?
Here,
I guess it's fine.
Here, what would you try to do?
I don't know. I gotta see the next wave.
Yasuo, but ultimately fail. From here, what would you try to do?
Yeah, getting 2 longswords and boots is better than getting Noon Quiver. Actually, in jungle. It's better than getting Noon Quiver, because boots will allow you to, I think boots will actually do more damage over time, if you think about, like, how he will gank. Right? Like, how Graves wants to gank, and the Conqueror and everything, I actually think boots will do better against some of these laners. You only watch Chinese VODs, I get it. if you only... and they recall on items? Well, LPL junglers are psychopaths, a lot of them. Like, most okay, I watch LPL junglers play in Korea solo queue. Korean solo queue is, they understand what they're doing, but they flip the game a lot. Which is, whatever, I'm not going to go into that right now.
Try to take the Raptors, recall, go back to your jungle to farm.
Okay, so going into your jungle to farm is really bad now because you're taking your next rotation camps while haven't even recalled yet. Taking Raptors is suicide, first of all. Recalling here might be the play, but Like, it's still bad. And doing none of the above, I don't know what else you're going to do. Maybe crash the wave if the wave is... Now, if the wave is crashed, if the wave is locked with Fiora, then you should crash the wave. I agree with that. So maybe that's what none of the above can mean, where you help get shove out in top lane. But if top lane is safe, which I'm pretty sure it was, because the next wave looks pretty far away, you should just recall. But I mean, it doesn't mean that it's a good decision, because you already trolled after not resetting earlier. So, no.
Or none of the above.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I wouldn't make any of these decisions because I wouldn't be in the situation. You could even dive him, but Echo's there, man. That's the problem.
Knowing that Echo could very well be taking our bots at jungle right now, we need to find a counterplay. But the enemy Raptors are scary due to Galio having a move right now. This leaves us with recalling or farming and accepting our loss. Or the best play, which is looking for the dive onto top.
This is good.
This is a really important thing that should have stood out, since it's a free opportunity to deny a huge wave.
Well, it's not good, but it's good for what's happening in the game.
Has no wind wall.
I just don't think that... Yeah. Oh, he has no wind wall.
My time before I hit him and draw aggro. I want to tank since I'm full HP, and once he gets in melee range of me, I blast him in the face. After the kill and helping to hit plates and pushing the wave, what would you look to do?
Pushing the wave here is actually really bad. Yasuo has no ignite, and Echo's never going to be up there. I actually think pushing the wave was pretty bad. You're losing tempo. Really, really bad. Like, you're losing tempo hard now. At this point, I would recall and run back top lane.
Would you go back to your camps, recall, or neither?
Because you're playing strong side top at this point.
We definitely need to recall. If we greed and stay for camps, we'll lose the ability to invade and pressure ganks for a while. And we really need to keep our foot on the gas and keep the snowball going. Which side of the map would you look to go to now? Bottom or...
This is obvious. You go top side. You would never go bot side here.
Raptors are likely partially taken. And I want to continue up at 457 and saw 28 CS.
Wait, what?
Here I pushed again and saw 31. So I know that my Krugs are definitely up and that my Raptors are likely partially taken. And I want to continue playing into top side. So if I start on top and clear down, I'll end up opposite from where I want to be. I walk through the base gate in case a mid gank is possible, but don't even check ground.
If you clear bot to top, the wave will not be in a good spot for you to gank. I would just go top immediately. Because if you go top immediately, you win 2v2. You're 2 kill Graves. Fiora has an insane lead in the game right now. Echo's never going to take your red buff. Kayle will have semi-priority, I guess. I don't know what's happening in mid lane. You never look. So taking your respawn camps here and then pathing to top side and then playing for like maybe Herald or something at 10 is pretty good, because this is the time where enemy jungle will be bot side again. But that's the thing, guys. Yeah, we can debate. Maybe bot side is better or maybe top side. It doesn't matter. The guy should have recalled. He didn't recall, and now he's telling us that the recall was a good thing. This is very bad.
And opt for my Krugs.
Oh, sorry. Now he's telling us that not recalling there and invading was a good thing. That's really bad.
However, Echo ends up showing bot, and once I pan my camera over, what would you do? Counter game?
Also, you got to show me the wave state in the last question, because you never mentioned that. If bot lane here, now this is something that I just came to my mind. I was thinking about it when I play jungle. I think about it, but when obviously here I didn't even think about it. But here you should always look at the bot wave states. If bot wave is pushing and bot needs to get shove out, you should path bot lane. If bot doesn't need to get shove out, then you should just path to top side. Yeah. And then you can play for like 10-minute Herald. Maybe. You know, we'll see. But I don't know. Obviously going bot here is fine, but yeah.
Bottom 100 and saw 31. Just tab and play so I can path up. However, Echo ends up showing bot, and once I pan my camera over, what would you do?
You would have to counter gank this. Wait, I don't know. Yeah, you have to counter gank because the wave has to be pushed. The wave has to be pushed out. I mean, you have to go now. There's no way you don't go.
Once I pan my camera, it looked pretty.
Yeah, he goes.
I can stay hidden on map and just go back to pathing up without wasting too much. Notice how I hug the wall when I approach to stay out of vision for as long as possible. Then I go in, and we end up picking up 2 easy kills. I probably could have killed Jhin too if I wanted to use my flash, but I chose.
We're so behind right now,
After
technically.
Pushing in the wave, would you go to dragon, look for a dive, invade, or have 2 easy kills?
I would wait. Echo's dead, right? Oh, this is so obvious. I would just do not do dragon here. I would not. I think dragon here is really troll. You should just do all your camps and then run to Echo's topside jungle, because Fiora has permanent prior. Alright, so take your red, take your raptors, and then just run to Echo's jungle. So don't clear your top side, just run to his jungle and kill him on red. So take your red, take your raptors, run to top side. Echo's going to be on his red at that time. You stop Echo. Kale should have prio. Then what you do is you and Kale can... Well, who's Kale against again? I don't remember, but whatever. You can basically use the prio that Fiora has to just shove Yasuo out of the game. Right? And then shove Echo out of the game. So now no one can play top side. You're not going to make it to his top side? That's true. You could actually even skip. He's respawning in 3 seconds with home guards shit. Oh yeah, that is also true. Yeah, he's respawning soon. Then at that point, I guess you could just you could also just full clear it if you're not going to make it in time. Because well, how's he going to clear it, right? He can clear it like this. He's going to clear maybe like this. I think you have time to do like something like this, and then meet him on here maybe. Right? And then 10 minutes will happen, and then you either go like this, or you play for Harold, or you just clear your top side. Right? You could also full clear, but if you choose to full clear, then you're not going to invade him, and then you should just look to go top lane again. And Echo won't be up there, because Echo would lose efficiencies up there. Then after you gank top lane, you do Harold, and then you just let your bot lane just not die and chill out. You give the first dragon up, because as you take Harold, dragon will be taken. But at that point, it'll be like 10 minutes plus, and the dragon doesn't even mean anything. Because it's an ocean dragon. Who cares if they have a bit of regen after like 10 minutes plus? It doesn't matter. Because lane phase at that point will be ending in the next 5 to 6 minutes anyway, so the dragon doesn't really come out much usefulness anyway, right? So yeah, I guess his bot side is up. You could invade his bot side, but like I don't know.
After pushing in the wave, would you go to dragon, look for a dive, invade, or go back to farming?
I don't know. I'm just like.
You should have said look for a dive. This is a huge amount of farm that we can deny.
Oh, Jin's alive. Jin didn't leave. Oh.
I can really have said look for a dive. Wave could have killed Jin too if I wanted to use my flash, but I chose not to.
Oh yeah, then you can dive it. If Jin is there, you can dive it. I thought Jin would leave the lane. But I guess if that's happening, then you just go into his jungle.
After pushing in the wave, would you go
I guess
dragon?
You just invade him.
We could always just do it afterwards anyways. So after the free kill and getting another...
Okay, honestly, the rest of the video doesn't matter. Because the point is, and it does matter, because people are going to be like, oh, but, you know, it was one small error. It actually matters. I would not be doing any of this had I not invaded, had I actually just recalled after my first rotation. He didn't recall. He decided to flip the invade in topside. And then all of his decisions are now based off of that prior decision. So, and also they keep panning the video in weird ways where I actually thought Jin died. My bad, I didn't hear him. But I mean, everything is just so weird, man. Everything is so weird now. Because Echo could be top or bot. Like, I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Right? You've won the game already. There's nothing to talk about. It's over. Just kill Galio if he stays. Go take your topside jungle. Recall, go to Harold. End the game. Game is over. There's nothing to VOD review.
After going mid to stop Galio from taking plating for free, I clear up the wave, and then walk into topside river to find Galio ulting the top. Would you follow through on this Galio roam and match it, or just go back to farming?
Oh my god, that's what I'm talking about. I have no idea.
Would you follow through on this Galio roam?
I don't know. Well, you have to look. I mean, I don't know.
Or just go back to farming, invading.
You don't have to farm your jungle. You can fight, I guess, if they're inting, but you could also invade because Kale has prio. You can do a lot of things.
Just to start moving towards the play in case Fiora does something dumb or Echo is right behind him.
Echo's probably
but
here.
The second Galio E's and starts leaving, it's not a great choice to waste time running up here. Kale has a big wave to go farm, and Fiora's wave isn't crashing anytime soon. Yeah. So we don't really even have priority to invade or do the Herald just yet. Unfortunately, Echo did manage to steal away some camps.
Echo, so Galio burnt ulti can just invade.
Invade him, start Herald, go back to your wolves. You even have priority to invade or do the Herald just yet. Unfortunately.
So did this guy take no camps? Did Echo take no camps? There shouldn't be anything to invade? Yeah, but there is though. There shouldn't be, but there is, because the guy's not clearing his jungle. I think. He doesn't read his CS. I have no idea. Like, I don't know. I don't know his CS. So it's hard to know if he did Raptors or not, or if he did red or not. Well, I can just look at him if he did red or not.
Unfortunately, soon. So we don't really even have priority to invade or do...
Oh, red. He has red, so...
Unfortunately, Echo did manage to steal away some camps, so what would you do now? Invade him, start Herald... Echo did manage to...
Dude, I would just do Herald. Like seriously, I don't care. It's strong side top lane. Just do Dragon or just do the Herald. You have so much gold though. That's the problem. You know.
Steal away some camps. So what would you do now?
He should have actually just after the dive bottom lane should have just recalled, right? Did he recall after this? After this dive he resets, right? No, he didn't reset. You could even reset here, after and then just go to top side, and then you have huge item spike, and then you just play for top. Because Echo could be bot or top here, but I don't know. It doesn't matter. This is all confusing because this guy trolled his early rotation.
I could go back to your wolves or recall.
Yeah, you literally just reset and buy mythic here. I agree. Because yeah, you could take your red and meet him in his top side, if Kale has prio. If you skip camps, I guess doing dragon is useless. Diving after the dive, you could just reset. Here, I think the best call actually is just to reset, and then just run to top side. He's not going to invade your red. If he chooses to go bot side, you take his entire top side. If he chooses to go top side, now he can't invade your bot side. And now you can just attack Yasuo because he's your little puppet, and you can then take Herald.
Afterwards anyways. So after the free kill and getting another plate, what would you do?
If he doesn't have the itemization to buy an item, yeah, or if he doesn't have the gold to buy an item, then yeah, you can just run up to his enemy jungle, take your red buff and clear up. That's something you can do. Invading him depends on if Fiora chooses to push and how the wave looks. And if, like, you see Echo or something, right? It really just depends.
Anyways,
but here the call is to... I don't know what I mentioned before,
or
but...
just go back to farming. I'm running up here. Gonna have priority. Recall. Do now.
You should recall. You have 1,500 gold on you. Unless you want to do Herald. But you have to read Echo's CS. If Echo has high CS, if he has the CS of top side, then just do Herald, because he's not going to gain value by playing with you in bottom side or in top side jungle. Then you can recall after Herald, or I guess you can take Wolves if you're really feeling it. Recall, and then I guess you can just go bot. Right? How does he do Raptors? Raptors are gone by the time he's up there, and we don't even know if Raptors are up or not. We don't know. That's the weird part. Because I don't know what. I don't know what clear time. I don't know what this guy cleared or his CS, so it's hard to tell.
Steal away some camps. So
we'll
what
check.
Would you do now?
You can dash over the wall.
Start Herald. Go back to your wolves or recall.
I would just do Herald. To be honest, I don't care about.
While Echo did steal camps from us, I know he hasn't recalled yet. And having as much gold as I do, I'm able to buy a huge spike right now and set up to punish that fact. If you go back to do Wolves or do Herald, you won't be on time to go dive bot or invade the bot side using the wave that Kale is getting to push in right now, which is the whole reason behind the recall. You'll see me ping her to start walking to bot side to set up for a movement towards the enemy jungle. I do get...
This is kind of flip. He has futures! Oh my god, I hate this video. I hate this video. This changes everything. I don't want. I just want to close my computer and go to sleep. Like seriously.
Choice to waste time running up here. Kale has a.
It changes nothing. He would have had time to recall earlier.
So we don't really even have priority to invade or do the Herald just yet. Unfortunately,
now it's even worse. I mean, it's. I don't know.
So what would you do now? Invade him, start Herald, go back to your wolves, or recall.
So he wants to recall instead of doing Herald.
Echo did manage.
He wants to run to bottom side jungle to invade Kale or invade enemy jungler. But why? Don't you achieve the same thing by just killing Yasuo up in top lane? Don't you achieve the same thing by getting Herald? For you to run to top side to invade, you're essentially under the assumption that the opponent team will accept your fight. Echo's already taken some of your camps. He doesn't care if he loses some camps against you. Galio doesn't have to fight. They just have to play for the dive in bottom lane. You can't just dive them because they have high ground on you, because Echo's on that side of the map.
do wolves or do hair.
Yeah, you get one side. You get one camp by invading blue side, but it's useless. Because you would have been able to probably kill Yasuo, or you would have been able to take Harold. I don't even realize he had futures, and no one told me. Like, oh, technically, how do we know that, right? But should mention this shit.
To buy a huge spike right
It does change things.
If you go back to do wolves or do herald, you won't be on time to go dive bot or invade the bot side using the wave that Kale is getting to push in right now, which is the whole reason behind the recall. You'll see me ping her to start walking into bot side to set up for a movement towards the enemy jungle. I do get lucky and happen to catch Galio out on the way to invade like I was already planning, but with how strong I am, this is just super easy to brute force regardless. Even though Echo took my stuff before, I immediately thought of a way to punish him for doing so, and run into his already enemy jungle.
So why does Galio have to take this fight? Galio took this fight for no reason. People have to realize the opponent team could actually just say no. They could just be like, hey, we don't want to fight you. We don't actually want to engage with you. You could have completely dismantled our top laner, but you didn't. So now you can't dive bottom lane because we have Galio ulti, and we have Galio who can not maybe base check. And yeah, we don't care if you take some of our camps. It's okay to give up bot side. You're losing the game anyway. You're 11-4. Like, you're not, you know what I mean? You can brute force top side and just win it. Then you capture Harold. It's not like it's not like they can just get the dragon against you. Given how strong bottom lane and mid lane actually are right now. I don't know.
I do get lucky and happen to catch Galio out on the way to invade like I was already planning, but with how strong I am, this is just super easy to brute force regardless. Even though Echo took my stuff before, I immediately thought of a way to punish him for doing so. And
I mean, the game is over.
Scoring another kill, summoners, and the ability to counter jungle. After taking all the available camps, what would you look to do? Dragon, go back to farming, invade top side?
I mean, the video's a mess at this point. Every poor decision, the next decision became harder and harder to make for me. Because I would not do this. I would never put myself in a situation like this where I wouldn't recall in that first rotation. So I don't know what the hell to do now. Like, I don't know. You're I guess just kill them. You're 11-4.
Rift Herald.
Go Rift, I guess. I don't know.
We definitely want to stay on bot side still. Karma and Trist are looking to hit bottom tower, and Kayla is trying to hit mid. So the only way to help both of those plays out is to be in the same area. Conveniently,
that doesn't do anything for you, actually. It's not like the enemy's going to stop them from hitting it. Because Jin's not in the lane. And Kale, doesn't matter if you take plates here. It's irrelevant.
Dragon is here. So while they're doing their thing, it gives me...
By the way, Dragon at 10 minutes and 30 seconds while you're hitting the towers and ending lane phase is very useless. This guy not taking his camps and doing Dragon is a really bad idea. Because what are you accelerating here? Like, what are you actually... All you're doing here is you're accelerating a soul, which you don't want to play on blue side. It's all that's happening here. You should just take your jungle, and you should just... Or just dive Seraphine. I don't know. Like, I don't know what Seraphine's HP is. But here, you should just not do Dragon. That's for sure. You could do whatever. You could... If Seraphine's low and it's killable, you go kill her. Maybe you go kill Galio. I don't know, man. I don't see the whole map. But, doing Dragon is definitely not the play. That's one thing I'm definitely certain of here. It's a very obvious play because it's the objective right in front of you, but here I would actually just do Rift Herald, because by the time you've done Rift Herald, you can actually utilize that before 13 minutes or 14 minutes by using it in one of the lanes. The faster you get it out of the map, the better. So yeah, actually, if Echo takes Rift or something and you take Dragon, it's actually better for the enemy team. Because now they have some kind of like way to, I guess in a way like they can utilize the Rift Herald. If they win a team fight, they can gain more than they should be able to. But obviously that depends on situations or whatever.
Something
right?
proactive to do, and at the same time stay in the area. After starting it, and when Echo shows on the map, how does it change your decision?
It really doesn't matter what you do, though. It really, yeah, I agree. It doesn't really matter.
Or try to kill Echo.
I mean, who cares?
Trying to set me a free kill. So much.
The next decisions don't matter because the game has already been over. The game has literally just been over for the past like 5 minutes. And so, anyways, going back to the video, I think the video is pretty good overall because it teaches people how to play jungle, sort of. Okay, let me rephrase that. It teaches people how to think about jungle, sort of. It teaches people to look at lane states. It teaches people to think about the enemy jungler. It forces people to think about these things, but it's not accurate. There's a lot of mistakes. Yeah, there's a lot of basic mistakes in the video, but they don't really matter too much. If you're like bronze or silver or like gold, but they are teaching you things that are not accurate. Right? They're still teaching you things that are not accurate. If you're a gold player and if you're a silver player and you're watching this video, yeah, you can pick up a little bit of shit. Like, you can pick up some concepts from them. But overall, it's not a video that's going to help you that much. So, although it's good for, like, super low elo, people who are just learning how to jungle, like, hey, this is what jungle camps do. This is what a bush is. This is what a tower can do. It's fine. But if you're, like, platinum, or I guess even if you're gold elo, let me rephrase that. If you're gold or platinum, then it's kind of useless. I don't think gold thinks as much as this. Yeah, but, like, it's still inaccurate. It's still quite inaccurate. This will help a player in the range from bronze to D4. I'm a D3 and I see this shit in D3 West. Yeah, but it's still incorrect. The things that should have been addressed haven't been addressed. Diamond 3 junglers aren't resetting immediately. Like here, for example. Like, I'll give you an example. Here, so after this gank, reset. Doesn't reset. This is something that happens in Diamond. This is something that I see even in Masters. I coached Grandmaster Jungler earlier. Did the same thing. Alright? Does the same bullshit. And they haven't addressed the fact that it's wrong. Echo should be able to kill you here. Echo could fight you. You have no priority. This is one example. Right? And so, this is like, although, yeah, people in Diamond still do this shit, the actual issue isn't even addressed, so it doesn't help anyone in Diamond, doesn't help anyone in Bronze, or in Platinum, or Gold, because information is still on. The only thing it does, it incentivizes people to start thinking about what they're doing. That's all it does. And that's good enough, right? That's good. That's why I said the video is quite good, because people are so brain-like, they're so blanked. Like, they don't think at all when they play it, when they play jungle. So it's good to get people thinking, but it's bad because it's inaccurate. So yeah.